This is 27 News First.
The Big Blue is back where it belongs.
Do it. Wildcats going back to an old Kentucky home, the Final Four.
After a 13-year drought, the Cats return to college basketball's main event.
We're here now and back in the Final Four. We got Kentucky back.
Dancing and destruction on 1 Lexington Street will show you how some UK fans celebrated the big win.
From the streets around campus to Bluegrass Airport.
The game was amazing.
To fans in Newark, we have live team coverage as Cat fans celebrate UK's return to the top. A special Big Blue edition of 27 News First at 11 starts now. Oh my goodness, it is a scene that has not happened in Lexington in 13 years. Hundreds of Wildcat fans rushing the streets to celebrate after the Big Blue takes its NCAA road to the Final Four. Wow. And good evening. Welcome to this very special edition of 27 News First tonight. The wait for Big Blue fans is finally over. The Cats are back in the Final Four.
Yes, they are. A celebration 13 years in the making is in full swing. You are going to be looking at shortly a live picture at Bluegrass Airport, and there it is, where dozens of UK fans are waiting to welcome back the Cats from Newark. We will return live to the airport in just a moment, but look at that crowd. Craziness, to say the least, and they are so very excited here tonight.
And also on standby are Rob Bromley from Newark, New Jersey, where the Cats defeated North Carolina tonight, and Cheryl Glassford near the UK campus, where fans took to celebrate in the streets. But we begin our Big Blue coverage with how the Cats made it all happen. Brian Milam joins us now with highlights of the big game. And Brian, Kentucky led most of the game, but it was close to the very end.
Well, that's what you're going to get when you get the two winningest programs in college basketball meeting for a berth in the Final Four. If you did not see how it happened, if you're the one person that hasn't seen it, let's go ahead and take a look. Cats on the run early. Brandon Knight passes to DeAndre Liggins, and we are tied at 4. It would be back and forth for the next few minutes. This time, Knight breaks the deadlock with the straightaway 3 ball. The next time down, Knight misses. But Josh Harrelson is the right man, right spot for the follow. Then Big Josh gives UK a 5-point lead with the jumper. Darius Miller cracks the scoring column with the 3-pointer, 16-13 Cats, and it starts a Big Blue trend. Deron Lamb from his favorite spot, the corner 3. Lamb again, 3 from the wing. UK builds an 8-point lead, 30-22. Everybody getting in on the fun. Terrence Jones left all alone. Pulling the trigger, 33-25 Kentucky. Carolina counters with Tyler Zeller. The 7-footer gets free, slams it home, cutting the lead to 3. Speaking of 3, highlight sponsored by the number 3. Brandon Knight, 36-30 UK. Cats with in the scoring at the first half. Jones the trailer. He scores, draws the foul, 38-30 UK at the break. After Carolina cuts it to 4, second half, DeAndre Liggins nails the 3. Brandon Knight's 3 gives UK a 10-point lead at 44-34. Darius Miller gives UK their biggest lead of the night on pure desire. The rebound, head fake, basket, foul, and 1. 47-36 Wildcats. Tar Heels on a 5-0 run, but Josh Harrelson changes that. The tough drive and the foul. UK just killing Carolina from deep. Knight again, the advantage back to 8, 59-51. But the Tar Heels come to life. The lob to John Henson and Roy Williams firing up the troops. Harrison Barnes is running, scoring, finishing, making it 65-63 Kentucky. Now tied at 67, Brandon Knight. He's done it all tournament, another 3. That makes it 70-67 Cats. A minute to go. Liggins, the block on one end. The other end, it's a 3. What a player. Does it on both sides. Look at the smile on Coach Cal's face. In 2 years, he has taken the Cats back to the Final Four. UK wins it 76-69. It is the 14th trip to the Final Four for the Kentucky Wildcats. So the Cats do it, this group of overachievers, back to the Final Four, 14th time. And Sam and Amber, this team is just absolutely amazing. They're moving on where they get a chance to do what was pretty much unthinkable just a few weeks ago, and that is possibly win a national championship. Over to you.
And what a smile from Coach Calipari.
I think that's my favorite moment from tonight is seeing him grab DeAndre and give him that big kiss. It was just great.
Pure joy. Certainly, it has been a thrilling road to the Final Four for these Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, it took not one but two upsets to make it to this point. Our Rob Bromley is live in Newark, New Jersey with the team's reaction to this big victory. Hello to you, Rob.
Hello, Amber and Sam. The remarkable story of this Kentucky team goes on, and now it leads to the Final Four next Saturday night in Houston. Just take a look at the scene on the court early this evening as the Wildcats were presented the trophy for the East Region Championship. They came here and pulled two upsets. They upset Ohio State, the #1 ranked team in the country. They upset North Carolina tonight. They were a 4-point underdog. And now they move on to the Final Four. They cut down the nets at the Prudential Center. A feeling of what they've accomplished is fantastic.
It means a lot just to be a part of this group, to send, Kentucky back to the Final Four. It's such a big tradition, and it means a lot to, come together, have a family, and be able to do this with them.
We're back in the Final Four where a lot of people think Kentucky should be, and a lot of people doubted us, and we proved a lot of people wrong, and we're on cloud 9. I think everybody right now floating right now.
I just can't believe it. This is my first Final Four. I never grew up looking at this kind of NCAA basketball. I'm just happy to be in this situation.
And I told you that I believe in this team, and I like this team, and I kept saying it, and everybody thought I liked my team. They didn't believe in themselves as much as I believed in them. They didn't believe in each other as much as I believed. Now they do. Now they know, man, he's not BSing us. This stuff is real.
Well, it's an honor to play for Kentucky, for them recruiting me. It's an honor to be in the Final Four my freshman year, so I'm just so excited. I'm just going to celebrate tonight and tomorrow get back to business.
It took a long time for us to develop the trust that we have now. We definitely trust each other more than anything. Like I said, we're confident in each other in every single point that we have. So, it works out for the best.
76-69, Kentucky wins it over North Carolina. First time the Cats have ever defeated the Tar Heels in a regional final to move on to the Final Four. They had lost in 1977 and in 1995. Now it's on to Houston, Connecticut, next Saturday night in the national semifinal. Sam, Amber, back to you.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. As you might imagine, this town is rocking tonight back here in Kentucky. UK fans want to make sure that the team gets a warm welcome home.
Many of those fans have gathered right now to greet the Cats when they get back to Lexington at Bluegrass Airport. Our Gabriel Rojas is live at the airport where fans are eagerly awaiting the team's arrival. Good evening, Gabriel.
We've been here for welcomes before, but this crowd is one of a kind. Take a look at these fans. They started pouring in here shortly after the game ended to welcome home the Wildcats after a hard-fought victory. It may be late, it may be cold, but this has the energy of a rock concert. While some fans huddled in their cars to conserve their energy for the arrival, many more crowded next to the fence outside the runway, waiting for a glimpse of the team playing. We've seen the whole spectrum from younger fans to veteran fans. Some say they were here back in 1998, the last time the Cats played in the Final Four, and welcoming the team back as they prepare for a historic game has become a proud tradition.
But yes, it's been 13 years, so it's about time. So we're here to celebrate.
We don't need confidence. We just need jorts. Who's in the house tonight?
And who is in the house tonight?
UK is in the house tonight.
We're just here to support the team and just let them know how proud we are for these guys, how hard they've worked this year and to accomplish what they've done this year. So it says a whole lot for these people to come out here tonight and welcome them home.
Fans say this is just the beginning. With two tough games behind them, they're ready to cheer their team home to a national championship. We're live in Lexington. Gabriel Rojas, WKYT 27 News First.
And we expect the plane to arrive within very soon, so we should go back to that live.
Time keeps changing just a little, but they'll be here.
And that little fan, and you laughed too when she said jorts. If you're new to Kentucky basketball, that's Josh Harrelson.
Yes, yes, we need him.
Well, chaos erupted in downtown Lexington tonight just moments after this big win.
Yeah, Wildcat fans were simply too excited to stay inside. Hundreds spilled into the streets near campus for a wild celebration. Our Cheryl Glassford is live at South Limestone and Pine Street, where things have quieted down just a little bit. Sheer ruckus earlier, Cheryl.
Well, I'll tell you, Amber, it was absolutely nuts down here earlier tonight, and it has quieted down quite a bit, but we're still hearing cheering. People are still honking their horns as they drive by, from burning couches to people taking to the streets of Lexington. It has been a wild night of celebration. When the buzzer sounded for a UK win, the roar of Wildcat fans was deafening.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I've been here for 3 years. I've been waiting for this my whole life. This is awesome. Go Cats. UConn's going down.
Smoke and flames on State Street drew crowds after furniture was set on fire.
We looked from our back house that was right there, and we saw fire, and we were like, we were jumping over fences and stuff.
The flames were extinguished quickly, but not the excitement among fans. And further downtown at Limestone and Maxwell, hundreds blocked traffic.
And this is just absolute madness.
Drivers struggled to make their way through the wild celebration.
That's madness! This is nuts! We're so happy we won! I don't know what to say. I got on a car!
Police worked to maintain control of the fans, who were growing in numbers by the minute. Eventually, authorities blocked off the stretch of road to allow people to celebrate safely, and cheering erupted over the Cats making it to the Final Four. And there are still quite a few fans out here in downtown Lexington tonight celebrating the big win. However, they are staying on the sidewalks now, so the roads have since reopened. Live in Lexington, Cheryl Glassford, WKYT 27 News First.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
And we were just saying they didn't even win the championship yet. This is what happens when you get to the Final Four in Lexington.
And that could come later, possibly.
Very well could.
Priceless, incredible, exciting. All words Big Blue fans use to describe the game.
Our Elizabeth Dorsett caught up with them, and they watched the game in person in Newark. She's live in Newark, New Jersey, with their thoughts on this thrilling win. Elizabeth, they saw two great games over the weekend. They beat Ohio State, and then it was North Carolina. Two huge wins.
Sam, some of the arguably best basketball that any of us on this crew have ever seen in person, and certainly fans got quite a lot of bang for their buck if they made it all the way up here to Newark, New Jersey, although a lot of fans say nothing will beat making it down to Houston for the Final Four, and they say they're already planning those trips.
North Carolina fans poured out of the Prudential Center after the Wildcats clinched the ticket to the Final Four. Wildcat fans lingered inside to celebrate the victory with the team.
Unbelievable. I've lost my voice. It's gone. It's completely gone, but great. Finally going back to the Final Four. Great time, great atmosphere.
Brandon Knight hitting all those threes and everybody playing big.
The team's great together, and they're gelling at the right time, and they're going to be dangerous in the Final Four.
Deron Lamb.
Why is Deron Lamb your favorite player?
Because he's really good.
We have never been so happy. It has been a 12-year drought. I grew up in Lexington. We live outside of Washington, D.C. Took the train up, and we're back in after a long drought, and we couldn't be more pleased with the way the Cats played and the way Coach Cal had them prepared.
The game was amazing.
Fantastic.
11 straight hours of driving.
11 hours, yes.
And it was $800.
Yes.
It's a MasterCard commercial.
It was
priceless,
fantastic.
baby. Priceless. Priceless.
It was incredible. Came down here Friday, and we saw, we won. Going to the Final Four, I don't think any of us saw it coming, but it is incredible. Amazing.
A lot of folks really feeling incredible tonight. A lot of Wildcat fans say they're not going to be sleeping at all tonight. They're simply too excited, too pumped up after watching those two amazing games here in Newark. And again, everybody making those plans to get down to Houston for the Final Four. Reporting live in Newark, Elizabeth Dorsett, WKYT 27 News First.
Thank you, Elizabeth. This will be UK's 14th trip to the Final Four that ranks 4th all time. UK's first Final Four came all the way back in 1942, and before this season, the most recent was in 1998, also in Texas. 7 of those Final Fours ended in championships for the Big Blue. The Cats won 2 titles in the 1940s, 2 in the 50s, 1 in the 70s, and 2 in the 1990s.
Well, UConn is no stranger to the Cats. The teams have met a few times, including once already this season. We'll take a look at the history between the teams. That's coming up next. And fans flooded local stores this evening in search of items commemorating the big win. Next, we'll go live to Fan Outfitters, where Final Four shirts quickly sold out tonight.
And welcome back to this special edition of 27 News First. Well, the first thing that many fans did after the game was head out in search of something to commemorate this victory.
Fan Outfitters began selling Final Four shirts within minutes of the victory. Our Angela Bevan is live in Hamburg, where the store is still open right now at this hour. Hi, Angela.
Hey, Sam and Amber. Well, this is the t-shirt right here commemorating the Cats' trip to the Final Four this year. Several fans wanting to come out, get their hands on one of these tonight. Now here in Fan Outfitters, they got quite an inventory in, but they are selling a lot of them already. You can see these tables, they're all cleared off. There's several tables in the store like that right now. Take a look, you can see pickings are slim. Now, Fan Outfitters in Hamburg stayed open late to sell several different Final Four t-shirts. The manager tells us they ordered 1,000, but only a handful are left. Fans filled the store to get their hands on one. Some even made it a family affair.
We were just on our way home from the party, so we stopped right by.
We came in here and picked 8 shirts up for everybody, all the friends. Go Cats, we're going to win the national championship, baby.
Yes, sir.
#1.
UK is #1. All the way.
All the
we're
way.
going to beat UConn. We're going to knock out VCU.
Right here, 3.
All right, Deron Land, 3. UK, #1. Woo! Let's go!
All right, now once again, this is the t-shirt that everyone wants to get their hands on. Now, if you weren't able to come out this afternoon and pick one up from Fan Outfitters, no worries. They're expecting another shipment in tomorrow. And in fact, they're going to have 7 different styles, so something to please everyone. So certainly just a great day to be a Wildcat fan. Live in Lexington at Fan Outfitters in Hamburg, back to you guys.
Yes, it is, Angela. Thanks so much. Fan Outfitters has 2 locations, one in Hamburg, the other in Tates Creek Center. It will be the University of Kentucky Wildcats and the Huskies of UConn Saturday night at 8:50 in Houston for the Final Four.
And this is a rematch the UK fans have been waiting for all season since losing to the Huskies all the way back in November in Hawaii. Now, going into this game, UK comes in with an overall record of 29-8, 10-6 in the SEC. The Cats were ranked 11th going into the tournament. Their all-time record, 2,052 and 646. And this is the Cats' 14th Final Four appearance. The Wildcats have 7 championship titles under their belt.
And UConn comes to the Final Four with a record of 30-9. They were 9-9 in the Big East. The Huskies were ranked 9th. They have an overall record of 1,547 and 855. UConn has made 4 Final Four appearances, and they have 2 national titles. Well, this won't be the first time Kentucky and UConn have met this season. The teams first faced each other in the Maui Invitational back in November.
It's just one of the handful of times they have ever faced off. Brandon Fisher takes a look back at the history between the Cats and the Huskies.
Hey there, guys. When Kentucky and Connecticut meet up in Houston, it will only be the 4th time these 2 perennial basketball powerhouses have met on the basketball court, and the 2nd time this season. Now, both have taken different roads with plenty of ups and downs. In the end, their paths will cross in the Final Four with the right to play for a national title on the line.
This for the win. No!
The Connecticut Huskies are a team that has found their rhythm, winning the West Regional with a 65-63 victory over Arizona, punching the program's ticket to a 4th Final Four.
Everything was just in slow motion. And then he missed, and then Momo got it. I thought he was going to go with it too, but the buzzer went off then. After that, I started, I seen my teammates running on the court, and I was excited.
Their first 2 trips, they won it all in 1999 and 2004, while also dancing on in 2009. Their season started off great, beating Kentucky 84-67, led by Kemba Walker's 29 points on their way to winning the Maui Invitational. The Huskies then hit a roadblock during the Big East schedule, finishing 9-9 in league play. But once the postseason arrived, the Huskies, led by Kemba Walker, have won 9 straight games in 19 days to win the Big East Tournament Championship while knocking off Bucknell, Cincinnati, and San Diego State in the first 3 rounds.
The 9th place team in that Big East is in the Final Four. I don't know what that tells you. I'm not sure how you interpret that. I just interpret we came from a very good conference, and I think our kids would probably reaffirm this.
Besides this season's earlier loss, the Cats and Huskies have only met 2 other times. Last season at Madison Square Garden, 4th-ranked Kentucky had another incredible freshman class taking on the 14th-ranked Huskies. Led by John Wall, the Cats jumped out to a 12-0 lead on UCONN, and it looked like a blowout was on the way. But Jerome Dyson dropped 13 first-half points and led the Cats 29-23 at intermission. In the second half, led by Wall again, the Cats roared back. It went down to the final seconds. John Wall gave the Cats the win on this 3-point play, scoring 19 of his game-high 25 points in the second half for a 64-61 win.
We drank the poison. We're listening to everybody tell us how great we are individually, so we wouldn't pass the ball to each other. But that's who we are right now. Second half, they played to win. They battled. We got it inside. We made easier plays. We beat them to some balls, but they're a good team. They're a top 15, 10 team, and we were lucky to win again. We're a 4-5 team is what we are.
Their first meeting just so happened to come in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament back in March of 2006. The Huskies, the #1 seed, the Cats, the 8th. The Cats led only once, and after an 8-all tie, that's as close as the Cats would get, trailing the Huskies the rest of the way. Patrick Sparks scored a game-high 28 points, and Bobby Perry dropped 20, including a basket to get the Cats within 2, 85-83 with 2 seconds to play. But Rudy Gay would hit 2 free throws to ice it as the Huskies would move on 87-83, ending the Cats' NCAA run that season.
We made some runs at them and had an opportunity there, but we just couldn't retrieve the ball. I thought it was a great effort on our part. Our kids gave a real strong effort. I'm really proud of our players. I'm really proud of our seniors who have.
So what can we expect to see in this NCAA tournament meeting? Well, no one really knows except for this. They have 2 special guards who can take over a game on a whim. Brandon Knight has shown when his shot is falling, it opens the game up for everyone else. And expect DeAndre Liggins to get the start again and have the task of slowing down Kemba Walker, who is averaging over 26 points and 5 assists during their 9-game winning streak during the postseason.
And in just a moment, the latest word on when the Cats will arrive at Bluegrass Airport. We'll hear from Coach Cal and his players coming up next.
Well, welcome back in. Of course, there are a lot of folks that are anxiously awaiting the team back here in Lexington tonight. Coach Cal just Facebooking just minutes ago that they should be back landing in Lexington sometime before midnight, and there are a lot of folks waiting on them.
Next 15 minutes, so we'll take you there live as soon as they come in. Well, Kentucky maintained a good lead for much of the game against North Carolina tonight, though the Tar Heels managed to close in during that last couple of minutes.
Yeah, the Cats have plenty of experience at winning close games. Coach Calipari talked about how the team didn't give up during his post-game news conference, and here's what Coach had to say.
The resiliency this team showed was unbelievable. It got late. They tied it up, and we didn't back away. There were a couple times I thought about calling timeouts, and I did not want my guys to think that I didn't believe in them. I wanted them to play through it. It was just a great fight, dogfight kind of game. And North Carolina does what they do and did not go away and made plays and tied it up, and ends up being a great college basketball game.
Obviously that 3 with just under 3 minutes left proved to be the difference. How important was it, and how confident were you when you let it go over Strickland?
I was confident. You know, like I said, me and my teammates are hard workers. We come early to practice to shoot. We stay after the shoot. But it wasn't only me that made big shots. I think DeAndre probably hit the biggest shot of the game with, you know, when we were up by 1 to put us up by 4. So, you know, it just shows how not only me, but the rest of our team can really make big-time shots.
DeAndre, talk about that 3 you hit from the corner and also the block on Kendall Marshall when they came back and tried to answer.
Kemba Marshall drove past me, and my length gave me the ability to block that shot because he drove past me. I just my long arms, I stretched out and blocked the shot. And that 3, I took Darius Jordan ball, and Coach said that it's the kick out, then shoot it, and I just shot it with confidence and made it.
DeAndre, right after you hit that, there's a stoppage play. And Cal called you over. You guys kind of embraced. What did you two say at that point? Looked obviously pretty happy.
That was celebration time. We just bump heads and we just happy.
I kissed him on the forehead is what I did. Well, let me just tell you, he knows how proud I am of He's come so far as a player, trusting people, trusting his coaches. This kid works. He's in the gym. Brandon works. He works just as hard as Brandon does. You know, he's overcome a lot of stuff. And for me, in this profession, you know, I said this before, there are guys born on third base, and then there are guys born outside the arena that got to try to get in the arena, to get up to bat, to get to first base, to try to go to third base. And DeAndre's overcome a lot, and you look at him right now. He defends, he's unselfish, he makes plays, his skills are improved. You know, he and Josh, all these guys, I mean, but especially him, I'm really proud, and I'm on him now. I mean, I'm on him to do the right things, and if he screws up, he knows I'm gonna be there, but, you know, he performs. He's not afraid, he's making plays.
Has your confidence increased on a different level in these last 10 games?
Yeah, it's definitely increased. You know, if somebody's playing me too tight and I see a lane, you know, I just try to drive it and get around them. And, you know, that helps out for my teammates because they don't play me as tight. And it's easier passes because they won't come and guard me as tight. But it's totally different, something I would have never thought I'd be able to do. But, you know, we do a lot of stuff like that. And when I work out with Kenny Payne before practice and stuff, we work on a lot of taking people off the dribble and going through bumps. And we also do it in practice with the bigs. So, you know, that's just something we've been working on, and I'm getting more confident doing it.
I know defense is a point of pride, but did you talk specifically about starting fast, making a quick statement in this game?
You know, the first 5 minutes of each half really dictates the game. You always want to come out and play strong. And, you know, the first 5 minutes of the game, we came out and we played really aggressive, played together as a team, and that really dictates what's going to happen throughout the first half normally. And I think we did a good job coming out and dictating the whole game and running our stuff and keeping them out of their basketball game.
In the beginning of the game, Coach just told me to be aggressive. So every time I got it, I wanted to push it and see what we can get in transition. And if not, you know, try to attack the basket. And guys were just being really aggressive tonight, and you could tell they really wanted it.
Coach, obviously you've been here before, and from a personal standpoint, you're in rarefied air now with 3 teams in a Final Four. What makes this one different, more special for you?
Because we lost 5 first-round draft picks, and everybody wants to say you can't win with young players. And I say if it's experience or talent, and I have a choice, I'm taking talent. And we'll figure out how to make them play together, how to get them to defend, how to increase their toughness, how they have to play to win ball games. I'll deal with that. Now, if they're talented and experienced, you don't lose any games. You know, I'm proud of these guys. Look, here's what this comes down to for me. Josh Harrelson, are you kidding me? Forget we went to a Final Four or going to a Final Four. So what? Look what's happened for him. Darius Miller has totally changed his game. Look what's happened. DeAndre Liggins, their future, their dreams. Yeah, we want to win a couple more. But when you look at this, not only freshmen doing well, they've now established who they are and where they want to go, and they've done it through this program and through this team, and I'm proud of that.
You guys are 2 years removed from the NIT, and you know, coming from a place in Kentucky where Final Fours are the norm, how disappointing was it to be in that place, and how sweet is it now that you're in the Final Four?
Going to NIT our first year was definitely disappointing for us and for all of our fans. You know, they're really disappointed in us. And, you know, I think we had a better team than what we showed. But we went to NIT, and we're here now and back in the Final Four. You know, we got Kentucky back, and a lot of people doubted us this year. You know, a lot of people really didn't think we'd be the team we are. We know we struggled early in the season, lost a couple close games that we should have won. And, you know, we really pulled it together as a team, and, you know, we're back now.
Now, we understand planes landed.
Yes.
Could be it.
We're checking to see who it is.
Stay tuned.
All right. UK will take on UConn next Saturday in the Final Four. The game will feature 2 of the most well-known coaches in the game.
That's right. And here's how they stack up. John Calipari has an overall record of 509 and 151. In 2 years at UK, he's 64-11. He's met UConn 5 times in his career and has a 2-3 record against them. Coach Cal's record in the NCAA tournament, 32-12.
UConn's Jim Calhoun has an overall record of 852 and 367 at Connecticut. He's 603 and 228. Calhoun is 2-1 against Kentucky, including a win earlier this season. In the NCAA tournament, Calhoun has a 47 and 19 record. All right, we want to take a live look now at Bluegrass Airport, where a flight has landed. We know that there were 2 flights apparently coming in from Newark here tonight, but Coach Cal said they were hopefully landing shortly before midnight. And look at all those folks, Sam, anxiously awaiting.
Oh, I know. It could be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't care. Sunday night, Monday morning coming, no one cares about it. Look at this. And you know, Amber, what the neat thing about this is a lot of people really doubted this team, and a lot of people questioned whether or not they could do what they've done. I mean, last year it was expected, I think, of those guys that they were going to go a long way, but look at what this team has done. I think that really appeals to a lot of people, a lot of the fans.
Yeah, and I think you and I both have said this. It's been so much fun to watch some of these players really grow and mature and see folks like Josh Harrelson and DeAndre Liggins. I think all of these folks just love their jorts, that's for sure, and they're having a lot of fun tonight.
The last loss was against Arkansas, against John Pelfrey's team on the road, and since then Kentucky has won 10 straight games. A lot of people doubted that they could beat Ohio State, and then a lot of people didn't think they could beat North Carolina, although Charles Barkley has been one of the profile people that said he believes in Kentucky.
He has been on our side, that's for sure.
Wouldn't you like to meet him?
Yes, shake his hand,
Maybe we'll get
right?
a chance. We're looking forward to that trip to Houston. We understand that last word we got was that UK is going to be leaving for Houston on Wednesday. And of course, you'll have WKYT, Channel 27 coverage from that point on from Houston, and we're looking forward to that, Amber.
All right, we'll keep you posted as we know when the team actually gets off a plane. We will let you know.
Another team making the Final Four, Butler, and hey, they were led by one great player from Lexington, Shelvin Mack. You'll hear from him next.
All right, there are hundreds of UK fans waiting patiently right now out at Bluegrass Airport, waiting for the team to arrive. A plane has landed. We're not sure if it's the team's plane just yet or not. We are still waiting for word on that. We just found out it is the team's plane, and these folks have been out here now for hours, Sam.
And they'll wait as long as they have to. You know, Amber, this team has done a lot of things that people didn't expect, and one of them is getting to this point, and I think a lot of people really believe that they can make it all the way, and the door opens up, and let's see who's going to step out first, because you can hear the crowd. Let's listen to the crowd for just a second. Calipari talking just a moment ago about how the lives have changed, in particular the veteran players who sat on the bench last year, and you know, Josh Harrelson barely played last year and has become really the immovable force.
Oh my
on this
goodness,
team.
he's playing like a man possessed sort of right now, and it's so much fun to watch. And as we're talking about, I think that's been what makes it even more infectious for all of the fans, just seeing how passionate they are right now in their play.
And forget the seeding, because look, there are no #1 seeds left. There are not even any #2 seeds left. And there's Coach Calipari. And you know, the #4 seed, a lot of people didn't like the idea that Kentucky had been seeded #4, but right now it really doesn't matter. They're in the Final Four.
No, it doesn't. A lot of people making those plans to Houston, but a lot of fans not worried about Houston right now. They just want to see this team get off the plane, and they just want to show them all the love that they can. Coach Cal there and his son, and there you see his wife Ellen coming down off the plane, back home in the Bluegrass and headed to the Final Four.
Coach Calipari, now didn't you know, Josh Harrelson with the net around his neck and the Final Four trophy and a big smile on his face coming down, affectionately known by all the fans as Jorts.
He's quickly become sort of a cult hero, if you will, and there is the rest of the team. Look at those smiles on their faces as they come home to all of these fans.
Let's listen again for just a second. This is special. Basketball was big in Kentucky, folks. Here we are at midnight, and they're having a party at Bluegrass Airport.
What a proud moment for these guys, and to be able to be so close to all of these fans and just literally to stand in front of them and look at them. They're just taking in the moment too, taking some pictures and taking his, I'm sure, cell phone video. Just an amazing time for these guys and for all of these folks out there.
Coach Cal had posted on his Facebook just a little while ago that he hoped all the fans back home were being respectable, and I guess except for a couple of couches being burned, everything went pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
But it is a special time when the fans, and you know, a lot of these people, Amber, probably don't even have tickets at Rupp Arena. These are the folks that are out here at midnight with a face-to-face with the players and loving every second of it.
Well, and I think that's what's so special about the University of Kentucky and basketball, and being able to come out to an airport at midnight on a night where a lot of folks got to get up and go to work in the morning, kids got to go to school, but this is so very important for them that they can get just this up close. And think about all the people that aren't up close to them, all those people way, way in the back. It's still so much fun for them.
And it's also a time when you get to see that, yes, these guys are 18, 19, 20 years old. They're college students, and the smiles on their face really, I think, tell it all, because it's a joyous moment, and I think they're just loving it, which is, it's a fun thing to see that they're enjoying this moment as well, as much as the fans are.
Yeah, and they have been so good about saying that, you know, when they're in their, you know, on the podium and talking about all the fans that follow them, and I think sometimes they're still taken back by the kind of rock star status of all of it, but this certainly proves it tonight, that's for sure.
So a blend of the young and the old. Brandon Knight extending the school freshman scoring record. He's now got 640 points, passes John Wall, and then we've been talking so much about, and as Coach Cal has, about the force that Josh Harrelson has been, and DeAndre Liggins, how much he's changed his game.
They have absolutely stepped up and are playing incredibly right now. Josh Harrelson playing incredibly against guys that, you know, arguably to other people are better than him, but he is saying, nuh-uh, I'm going to step in and take him to the boards, and he certainly has these last couple of games.
Well, Texas will be familiar territory for some people because it was the last national championship that Kentucky won in San Antonio. Tubby Smith's Cats winning that game, and so Kentucky is returning later this week to the state where they won the last national championship, not in San Antonio this time, but in Houston. And you know how confident these guys are, but they're going to also be playing a team, I think, Connecticut, with a chip on their shoulder too. They've come a long way in their, their run to get to the Final Four. So it again could be a tough game. Look at George.
He's going to be over that fence shortly. I'm seeing it coming. If he can get over that fence, he just may do it, that's for sure. Yeah, this is going to be a rematch that fans surely want to see. A lot of people have been talking about that game, and of course when this was a possibility, they were ready for it. Look at all of those folks just running to him.
I think John, and maybe Brian can, Milam's standing by over here, he can confirm this. I think Josh only played like 88 minutes. I mean, that's a number that comes to mind last year. I mean, it was very little that he played last year. And then he had that famous tweet that got him in trouble with John Calipari, and John Calipari said, listen, you're going to do 30 minutes of extra workout and work your way out of this. And he has emerged into this force.
So much talk about how his body started to change, and I think then that's when he started to really say, oh, okay, you know, I can play, and he has come so far this season. Of course, these guys are on an adrenaline high right now. I'm not sure how much rest is going to be for these guys, because eventually they've got to get down to business and look at the next person on the list, which is UConn, and get set for that. But I'm sure they're going to enjoy this night, and I'm sure it'll be hard for these guys to sleep as well, for all of the rest of us and these fans out there.
And as you're getting ready to plan your week, again, the game will be Saturday night. I believe it's the second game at 8:45 here on
8:50-ish,
8:50
yes.
on WKYT CBS, and we'll be reporting live from Houston beginning later this week.
All right. Well, there you are looking at a live picture of the Kentucky Wildcats returning home. They are now headed to the Final Four. They are heading home from Newark, and now it's out to Houston to play in the Final Four. A lot of fun for these guys, and all those fans so patiently waited to see them, and they've gotten to see them tonight.
Back with more of our special coverage of 27 News First as the Cats land at Bluegrass Airport on their way to the Final Four. We'll be right back.
The Cats had no shot to win the SEC tournament, but they did. UK avoided the first-round knockout from Princeton, avenged last year's NCAA loss to West Virginia. UK had never defeated Ohio State when it mattered, but that changed on Friday. Tonight, the Big Blue showed it is better than Carolina Blue. East Region Final, the Cats running Brandon Knight, DeAndre Liggins, and we are tied at 4 early on. Brandon Knight was awesome. The Straightaway three. We are not deadlocked anymore. Next time down, Knight misses, but Jorts, yes, right man, right spot for the follow. Then the big guy gives UK a 5-point lead with the jumper. Darius Miller cracks the scoring column with the three, 16-13 Kentucky. It starts a big blue trend. Deron Lamb, he loves that spot in the corner for three. He likes the wing a lot also. UK leads by 8, 30-22, and everybody gets in on the fun. Terrence Jones, all alone. Bullseye, 33-25 UK. Carolina counters with that big guy in the middle. Tyler Zeller, the 7-footer, slams it home. The lead down to 3. And then we cue up Brandon Knight, 36-30 Kentucky. The scoring ends of the first half on Terrence Jones. He's the trailer. He's also the scorer. He draws the foul, 38-30 UK at the break. Carolina would cut it to 4 in the second half, but Liggins hits a 3. Brandon Knight's 3 gives UK the double-digit lead, 44-34. Darius Miller, the biggest lead of the game on pure guts and desire. Rebound, head fake, basket, foul, and one. 47-36 Cats. Tar Heels on a 5-0 run. Josh Harrelson changes that. The tough drive and the foul, and UK just kills Carolina from deep. Knight again. The advantage is back to 8, 59-51. But then that's when North Carolina comes to life. John Henson, the lob, Roy Williams firing up the troops. Harrison Barnes running, scoring, making it 65-63 Kentucky. We're now tied at 67, and guess what? The MVP steps up. Brandon Knight good for 3, 70-67. DeAndre Liggins, the defensive play of the year, the block on one end, the 3 on the other. That's the nail in the coffin. Great camera shot from the roof, and Cal's face says it all. UK wins an absolute thriller. 76-69 is the final score. Rob Bromley is live in New Jersey. And Rob, you've seen each Final Four trip the Cats have made since Joby Hall went in 1978, winning it all. This one, absolutely amazing.
Well, it is, Brian. The only thing that could be better than this would be to see this team win the national championship, and they've got a shot at that now as they make their first Final Four appearance since 1998. Just a tremendous run going back to the Arkansas game, their last loss by 1 point in overtime. Since then, 10 straight wins. They pulled 2 upset wins here in Newark to make it to Houston.
We've had the road that is, we went from Lewis to Robinson to Ali. That's where we've been playing. I mean, we're in a ring and it's like, come, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's like in every game, and it's, you know, you got 2 days like, okay, now here, play this team.
When we won some tough games, and people say we weren't supposed to win, and we proved people wrong, you know, from that point on, we thought, hey, we could do this. So from that point on, we just started proving people wrong.
You know, neutral site games, we were 4-1 going into the SC tournament, so we knew we were good on neutral sites because, you know, our fans follow us so much. It's never really neutral site. We always usually have the advantage everywhere we go. But, you know, when we were on the road, you know, I never thought things would fall into place like they have now. And I'm just thankful for all my teammates that pushed through with me through the struggles and everything. And, I mean, we're here today going to Final Four.
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, I know our fans, and I know how much support they give us. I know they're excited down there in Lexington right now.
It's funny because nobody picked us at all. Nobody has picked us at all, except for the only person I've seen is Charles Barkley. But, you know, I'd rather them not pick us now.
It means a lot to me, especially to be a part of this program and doing it. Like you said, I grew up in Kentucky, so I know what it means to the state of Kentucky. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
We just coming together, veterans stepping up, making big plays, Josh stepping up, Darius and DeAndre stepping up real big for us. And the freshmen keep doing what we're doing, and we keep doing what we're doing every game. We can win every game.
Great all-around team effort in this game here this afternoon with Carolina. 5 players in double figures. Tar Heels really cranked up the defense in the second half. The Cats had to respond. Then Harrison Barnes, some tremendous play for North Carolina down the stretch. Again, the Cats had to respond, and they did. Clutch shots by Brandon Knight and by DeAndre Liggins in the last minute. 76-69, Kentucky wins it. Brian, it is on to the Final Four next weekend in Houston. Back to you.
Rob Bromley's put on those frequent flyer miles. He's got a few more coming. So the field is now set next Saturday night in Houston, Texas at 6:09. It is a Cinderella special. 11th seeded VCU making an improbable run, meeting the darlings of last year, the Butler Bulldogs, an 8 seed. Then immediately following, it's a rematch of the Maui Classic Championship. The Wildcats tangle with UConn, who has won 9 tournament games in 19 days. That game starts somewhere around 8:49 p.m., and you will see the Final Four exclusively on your home for the Cats, WKYT and WYMT TV. Now, for the second year in a row, Bryan Station product, Shelvin Mack and his Butler Bulldogs going back to the Final Four. Last night, Mack scoring 27 as the 8-seed Butler team just upset and wore out second-seeded Florida, 74-71 in overtime. Mack talks about taking an overtime shot that gave Butler the lead for good.
Those other 3 won't. Just coming down court, we got in a great situation. Matt had a pick, and he was able to switch it. The previous possessions, I was able to get to the rim and get fouled, and I realized he was backing up a little bit, and I was able to just knock down a shot.
Now, just south of Kentucky, the University of Tennessee announced today the hiring of Missouri State's Quanzo Martin as the new basketball coach. Martin led Missouri State to its first Missouri Valley Conference regular season title this year in just his 3rd season on the job. Martin replaces Bruce Pearl, who was fired by UT last week amid an avalanche of NCAA rules violations. Pearl led the Vols to the NCAA tournament in all 6 of his seasons in Knoxville. A news conference is scheduled for tomorrow, introducing Martin as the Vols' new coach. And the MGM Grand in Vegas says the Cats are the favorite in the Final Four. It will be a new role that they will have to adjust to compared to the last couple of games. That's a look at sports. We will be right back.
Great night to be a Wildcat. The Cats will play Saturday night at 8:49. Brian, real quickly, how do you think these 2 teams match up? Because I sense both of them have a chip on their shoulder. Both of them went into their individual respective tournaments not, playing all that great.
Well, UConn was the preseason number 10 team in the Big East. Kemba Walker had a coming out party against Kentucky and everybody in the Maui Invitational. And I'm sure UK, they avenged that loss to West Virginia. They said they couldn't beat Ohio State. North Carolina's had the Cats number over the last several years. Oh, by the way, it's going to be a Husky and Cat fight in Houston. And they do match up. Both teams are going to be physical because Kentucky, all of a sudden, over the last couple of weeks, they found a physical nature that Coach Cal has been stressing and pleading and punching with the heavy bags for the last several months. So it should be a thriller, but it doesn't mean if you win, you've won it all, because Butler and VCU, you still have to win too.
And who would have thought those 2 teams? But it just makes it an even more incredible story.
Exactly. Well, somebody in the country did. I think 2 people picked this Final Four field out of millions and millions. They are either extremely intelligent, highly ignorant, or extremely lucky. One of the 3.
Well, on that note, and I finally fell out of the leading here in our KYT.
Very
so
good.
Darn. Anyway, we appreciate you staying up very late with us tonight. We want to leave you tonight now with some of the sights and sounds from a great Wildcat win tonight. Have a great Monday.
Good night.
To the corner, Liggins hits the 3, makes the that will do it. Wildcats going back to an old Kentucky home, the Final Four.